Hey, everyone. I'm in contact with our chairman, just trying to help him get in. Stand by. Okay, he's in the waiting room, Josh.
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I'm here. Hello?
We hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. We've got a quorum. We're going to let you go ahead and kick us off.
Oh, okay, good. I appreciate it. Well, first of all, thank everybody for being here on a what's the day? Wednesday morning, and so we can take care of this business that we have. So I'll call the meeting to order. Second, I'll lead the invocation. If you'd bow your head, please. Father, in this season of Christmas, we rejoice in your gift to mankind and the promise therein. Lead us as we carry out our responsibility to the thousands of students across the state of South Carolina and our fiduciary duty to the taxpayers. Thank you for the opportunity to serve the children, parents, and schools from the coast to the upstate and all points in between. Guide us as we make decisions that impact kids and communities and keep us mindful of our obligations in making fair and prudent decisions. In your holy name, amen.
Amen.
And I'll lead the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then I will say the mission. The South Carolina Public Charter School District authorizes, champions, and supports the creation and advancement of innovative K-12 public charter schools that provide access to academic opportunities for every student in South Carolina to reach their fullest potential. All right, let's see. Is Randy in attendance?
I am, Mr. Chairman.
Randy, would you take the roll?
Sure. Mr. Butcher.
Here.
Mr. Butcher is present. Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, not present. Mrs. Mosteller. Mrs. Mosteller, not present. Mr. Payne.
Here.
Mr. Payne is present. Dr. Pope.
Here.
Dr. Pope is present. Dr. Strickland.
Here.
Dr. Strickland is present. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, I'll need a motion to approve the agenda for today, November 30th, 2022.
So moved.
Or I'll
second.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? None. All right, action item. Michael Tom, the audit review, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this day before our December 1st deadline. It's good to be here. I want to publicly thank Brian and his team. Last week, we received our last audit up through, I think it was Tuesday or something, Brian, and their team, they bust their butt over the last couple of days to get this stuff done and cross the finish line. But I want to thank them. Brian is on the line today. Tim is not with us, but I will reach out to Tim and thank him as well, because Brian, your team did a tremendous job in getting us through across the finish line in this audit. I'm going to introduce Brian Nicholson. He is the senior manager for Malden & Jenkins, and he's going to go through the audit results.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay?
Good morning.
Thumbs up. Okay, good. All right. Well, my name is Brian Nicholson, Malden & Jenkins. I do not have just to kind of get some stuff out of the way. I do not have the final PDF to go over this morning. It is issued, what we would call issued. It's actually dated November 28th. We're going to get that from our processing department. They're just kind of making it look neat here at the end. Once we get that, we will get with Nick and Michael and their team to finish the state submissions. So all of that should be done today. So after today, everything should be issued and final. With that being said, I'm going to get started. Josh, if you want to go to the next slide. So this is kind of the flow of this morning's presentation. So Tim Lyons was the engagement partner. He's not here this morning. He's actually trying to get some other jobs out the door as well. We'll go over the results of the 2022 audit, some financial ratios, trends, any comments, and any questions at the end. So Josh, if you want to go to the next slide. And then if y'all have questions as I'm going through this, feel free to stop me. We can certainly go over that as well. Just some information about our firm. We're located here in Columbia. We've actually got 14 offices now. This isn't fully updated. We just got an office in North Carolina. But some information about Malden Jenkins here. And then Josh, you want to go to the next slide? So I think this is kind of what everybody's here to see. So our responsibility under the auditing standards generally accepted in the United States of America, gas and gas government auditing standards. We consider internal control as it relates to the district structure. Our objective during this audit was to provide reasonable, not absolute assurance over the financial statements. We did provide a clean opinion or an unmodified opinion. That's the best you can do. So the district should be proud of that, especially considering all the component units and charter schools that y'all have to essentially look after. I know Michael said, we got the last one last week, and this whole time we didn't know if we were going to get them all in time. I'm thankful we did, because we were able to issue a clean opinion because of that and the work that their team did. If you want to go to the next slide. So here's kind of a screenshot of the final governmental balance sheet. So total assets for all funds were $14.7 million, offset by liabilities of $12.6 million and deferred inflows of resources of $187,000 for ending fund balance of $1.8 million in the general fund. That's actually a decrease of, if you want to go to the next slide. So the general fund had a decrease in fund balance of approximately $2.2 million. But I do want to kind of say $1.8 million of that decrease is a transfer to the capital projects fund. So that is kind of where a big chunk of that decrease comes from. When you back that out, the general fund actually did have a pretty good year. If you want to go to the next slide. So this kind of just a brief overview of the financial statements. Note 1 has the significant accounting policies. Once we issue the report, we do advise you all to look at the footnotes because they are an integral part of the financial statements. The district was required to implement GASB 87, which had to do with leases. It did not have a material effect on the financial statements, although it was implemented this year. I think in a few slides, we'll go over some of the other GASB pronouncements that'll be coming up. The big one being GASB 96 for subscription-based technologies. The district uses various estimates as part of its financial reporting process. Those relate to accounts receivable for allowances, depreciation of capital assets, and then the valuations of the pension and OPEB assumptions. If you want to go to the next slide. Kind of went over the footnote disclosures. So we received full cooperation with the district's team. And I just kind of want to I know Michael was thanking us this morning, but without the help and the work that they do on the front end, we can't do our job without that. So we also kind of want to extend a thank you to y'all for allowing us to kind of get in here and get the audit out in timely fashion. I was taking some notes this morning. In 2020, I believe y'all's report was dated May 27th, 2021. And then 2021, fiscal year 21, it was dated March 23rd, 2022. So I did not go back to 2019, but in the past 3 years, and this is the first year that y'all have met that 12-month deadline. So y'all should really be proud of the work that y'all were able to put in on the front end to allow us to then do our job to help y'all meet that deadline. So I think that is something to definitely be noted during this meeting. There were some audit adjustments. We will provide those when we issue the final report. Nick has all those already. There were no findings this year. So along with the clean opinion, there are no financial statement findings, no findings as it relates to the single audit, which we had to do one major program this year, which was the Education Stabilization Fund. And as it relates to the district, that is the ESSER money and the GEAR money that the district received this year. So that was the only major program that had to be audited this year. We requested and received a management representation letter. If you want to go to the next slide. This is just some required communications. I'm really just going to hit on, we didn't have any issues with management. There was no significant disagreements or anything like that. We are independent of the district, which is a requirement. And if you want to go to the next slide. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. Some new gas pronouncements coming up in the future. The only one that is really gonna probably have a material effect for the district, I think y'all are gonna see probably a lot of charter schools that are included, and all school districts, throughout the state, is going to be GASB statement number 96. This is similar to the leases as far as how you report it, but you're just instead of looking at leases, you're looking at any like accounting software that y'all subscribe to, any stuff like that will need to be picked up. And I believe, so June 30, 2023. So that is something y'all at least need to be talking about, just to kind of have in the back of your minds as you prepare for next year's audit. So and as y'all go through that, with any questions and concerns you'll have, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to help. Next slide. I'm not going to go over these, but definitely stuff to consider. Next slide. Yeah, and then we also provide free quarterly CPE, and y'all should be aware of this. I believe y'all are on the email list. If not all of y'all, I think a few of y'all are. Next slide. Yeah, and so as far as the presentation goes in PowerPoint, that's pretty much it. I did want to hit, we issued 3 reports in this year's financial statement. And similar to last year, we had our independent auditors report, which has our opinions, clean opinion, the best you can do. And then we had our yellow book report, which is our report on internal controls. Last year, we had a non-compliance finding, just because y'all were late. Our hands were kind of tied there last year. We kind of had to give that finding. This year, that finding is gone, and there are no new findings to report. So that's going to be a clean report. And then we also had our single audit report, which, like I said earlier, was over the district's major program, which was the Education Stabilization Fund, ESSER, and GEAR. With that, I kind of want to thank y'all again for allowing me to come on and give this presentation. Thank y'all for the work that y'all put in. And we hope to have y'all final PDF this afternoon and get y'all submitted and completely finalized by this afternoon. And with that, I'll open up any questions, any comments.
First, I need a motion from the board.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
Is there a motion? Well, it needs to be
Motion to
specific.
accept.
Do you want to accept?
A motion to accept the audit as presented.
Or is there
And second.
All right. So with the second, we have a motion on the table. Are there any questions or discussions? there any questions for the auditor or Michael Tom? Okay, having none, gentlemen, thank you. I've been banging this drum for several years to get our audit cleaned up. A couple of years ago, we had several findings and we kind of had to work our way out of it. So, Michael, to your team, hats off to you for getting us to this point, because this is important. It's important for our board, but not only that, it's important for our charter schools to see that, yeah, we can run this entity and we can do it the right way, so that we are showing them that it can be done, and they should be doing it as well. So I appreciate all the effort that Michael and his team have done. Chris, thank you. Chris, do you have any, before I call for the vote, do you have any statement you'd like to make?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to reiterate what you just said. I wanted to, first of all, thank Michael and Nick and their team, all of our partners at the district, the program team, the finance team, everybody working together as one big family, united for the purpose of demonstrating transparency in our finances. We've had more money flow through this district in the past year than we've ever had at any other time, with all the federal and state combined. And so the weight has been large for this district. We also have the historical issues that we've, been working to get out of, as you mentioned, for the past 3 years. And so thanks to our partners at Malden Jenkins and Brian and Tim and our internal team working together with them, I'm very proud of the fact that we've got a 100% clean audit, and we met the deadline. So congratulations to the entire team. I'm very proud of you, and you do represent the best.
All right, thank you. Are there any board members that would like to say anything before I call for the vote?
Just to second all of that, congratulations for the team.
Yes.
Well done, everyone. We've all been a part of these meetings that have, talked about this at least since last year, and if not prior to that. So congratulations to everyone. It is really not lost on us as board members. So well done.
I'd like to echo those sentiments. Outstanding job to Michael Thomas' team. Best RFC.
Yes. And I know 2 years ago, we all thought that this was a distant dream. And so I just really appreciate everything that Michael and the entire team has done to make this happen. This is a historical day. And if I were in shape, I'd do backflips from Greenville to Columbia to show how excited I am.
It's been a long 2.5 years, but we made it. So we'll keep pushing. That's what we do.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And with that being said, I will call the vote. All in favor of the motion to accept the audit as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Are there any questions or comments from the board before we adjourn? Or Chris, do you have anything else?
I just want to remind the board that we do have another board meeting in December 15th at 10 o'clock. That will be a virtual meeting for the sole purpose of doing professional development with Stan Davis. Our next in-person board meeting where we'll take up transfers will occur in January. So we've got a virtual meeting coming up, and then we'll continue in person coming up in January on January 19th.
Okay, very good. All right, with that being said, we are at the end of our agenda, so we will adjourn. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.